Welcome back to the coolest channel on YouTube. Look, bring it in, smash that like button. Let's get this video to like 15,000 likes. You already know how we do. Look, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 1 million. I appreciate y'all, man, for rocking with the vibes and the content. If you're an inquisitive thinker and if you like to think for yourself and a group of people that like to talk about interesting topics, well, you found your family. Welcome. But look, we got something interesting here, man. Just look, we're all being watched. We're all being watched. Make sure y'all don't skip a thing in this video right here. But look, I'm not trying to perpetuate fear because we don't resonate with fear over here. We resonate with information. We have a good time while we talk about these interesting times that we're in. But look, I'm not trying to get you to believe anything. Use your own mind, your own discernment, and we're gonna build together. But look, let's get into this video and just know if you're going through a tough time, you're not in this life by yourself. We're going through this thing called life together. Let's get it.
Meta just fired 1,100 people who exposed what they were doing with the Ray-Ban footage on 6 days notice. Quick context, if you purchased Meta smart glasses, the footage you recorded, everything you saw around you got sent to a contractor in Kenya called Sama.
I mean, y'all bought the glasses. I know I got them, but I haven't used them like that.
1,100 workers doing 10-hour shifts, sitting there labeling what was on your camera so Meta's AI models could get better. Back in February, Swedish journalists started investigating this matter, and the workers told them what they were actually watching. People having intimacy, people in bathrooms, naked, kids, credit card numbers, you name it. And last month, Meta cut their entire contract. This week, the Kenyan company Sama just announced that they're firing all 1,100 of those people. Some of them said that they'd already been forced to sit on their desks doing nothing for weeks while security tightened around them after the reports started coming out. Meta says that Sama didn't meet our standards, and Sama says they consistently met all standards. Read between the two, and the truth is very simple. The workers who told the public what was actually happening all lost their job and were fired. Now there's a class action lawsuit in California against Meta, and the UK's data regulator also opened an investigation. Every single part of this story is true, and nobody at Meta has answered any of this yet. The lawsuit is moving, 2 regulators are investigating, 1,100 people lost their jobs, and I'll be tracking all of this. Follow me if you want to learn more, because Big Tech is hoping you forget by next week.
I need your help, and we only have 45 days. This issue is not Democrat versus Republican or left versus right. This is the American people and our right to privacy versus the federal government. I have a paragraph here to read, so I stay short and to the point. The House of Representatives voted 235 to 191 to extend the government's warrantless surveillance powers under FISA Section 702. We'll talk about what that is in one moment. And both parties here are to blame. 42 Democrats crossed the aisle to hand the Trump administration sweeping spy powers, even as privacy advocates and civil liberties groups warned this program has already been used to surveil Black Lives Matter protesters, journalists, and members of Congress. Only 22 Republicans had the courage to vote against their own party's leadership, but we still need to call that out. That is a good thing. This is not a partisan issue. It is a constitutional one. And the reason why is because Section 702 allows the government to sweep up Americans' private communications without ever obtaining a warrant. That is in direct violation of the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution, searching without a warrant. The Senate must not let this stand. The House must not let this stand. They reconvene in 45 days to talk about this again. I need you to go sign this petition. Read it if you would like, but this is stating that we, the American people, are not going to stand for it. I outline the whole issue in the description of the petition. How do you sign? You go to any of my social media bios, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Substack, it doesn't matter. They all have a Linktree link in them that will open up this page for you. Down below at the very top of the list is the Stop Illegal Surveillance petition. You click on that, you can sign it. You can sign it anonymously, or you can sign it with your name and information. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. My goal is to spread this far and wide, and there are over 500,000 of you that follow me here on TikTok, and over 200,000 of you that follow me on Instagram. We need to make sure there are hundreds of thousands of signatures on this thing, because we, the people, are not going to stand for a government that is going to surveil us and keep tabs on us like we are in the novel 1984. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look that up. 1984 by George Orwell. Enough is enough. This is an opportunity for you to act, even if it feels small, even if it doesn't feel worth it. It's worth a try.
Y'all gotta understand why we fight. They pass legislation. When they throw out another distraction, just know that they're passing another piece of law or they voting on something.
Come on! No, 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 no!
Now imagine there was an emergency outside the truck, an accident, something terrible on the ranch with a chainsaw. And I jump in this truck, but the truck, it won't shift into drive. Why? Because the cameras and sensors inside this cab won't let it shift, because it detects my eyes are big, there's a lot of emotion, there's some panic, and it doesn't feel that I'm fit to drive. Now that's not science fiction, that is happening because Ford just filed the patents. Ford actually has a series of patents down at the US Patent and Trade Office that deal with the sensors and cameras inside the cab of their truck. And if the sensors in that truck determine that you're not fit to drive, that truck will not actually shift from park to drive. Now they already have a system called telematics, and that's where they can actually pull up cameras in real time inside the cab of their fleet vehicles. Now, they actually market this to insurance companies because the truth is, this is really about who owns the data and who owns the liability. Now, your name might actually be on the title of this truck, and you may have paid for it, but you don't own it. Now, Ford didn't file just one patent. They filed a stack of them, all within months of each other. Are you sitting down? Get this. This Ford technology patent doesn't just watch you, this one puts you in jail. Ford filed a patent, serial number 0104469, where the system takes your biometric data, your face, your iris, and your fingerprint, and it runs it through a criminal database in real time. While you're sitting in your own truck, think about what that means. You wake up one morning. You walk out to your driveway, you climb into a vehicle with your name on the title, on property with your name on the deed. And before you go anywhere, before you've done a single thing wrong, your truck is already running your face through a law enforcement database. Ford's own patent language describes this as potentially useful for police. They wrote that. Ford wrote that into the patent application. So the question isn't whether this technology can be abused. Ford already told you who it's for. You just didn't know that you were buying a cop car. Now I'm going to walk you through a few of these patents. Lip reading, cameras inside your cab, machine learning trained on lip movement datasets, cloud connected, your face processed somewhere you'll never see, stored as long as they want. Acoustic lip reading, if the cameras aren't enough, the system emits inaudible sound waves and reads the echoes bouncing off of your mouth. You can't see it, it's just happening. Biometrics, your face, fingerprint, iris, filed February 2024, and it was published August 2025. This one is assigned a serial number because it's real. Ad listening, this is scary. It monitors conversations between everyone in the cab. It serves targeted ads based on what you and others are talking about while you're driving. In Ford's words, maximum opportunity for ad-based monetization. No description of how that data is protected either. None. How about Ford Pro Telematics? Now this one isn't a patent. This one is actually a product page. Right now, fleet managers can pull live in-cabin video feeds of drivers on their phones. Ford markets seatbelt compliance alerts with the explicit benefit of lowering insurance costs. They said it themselves. This is the infrastructure, and once the infrastructure exists, it's going to get used and abused. Now, Ford isn't alone in this. This is an arms race. Smart Eye driver monitoring software is already in over 2 million cars globally. The EU's general safety regulation mandates drowsiness systems as standard equipment going forward. GM deployed biometric seat sensors and heart rate monitoring in production trucks.
Let's go!
Come on, come on, come on!
Due to elevated heart rate, high stress levels, and panic indicators, you are not fit to operate this vehicle.
What? There's a tornado!
Have you tried calming down?
Daryl, it's getting bigger!
Start the truck!
Let's begin a breathing exercise. Inhale. Exhale.
I'm not breathing right now!
Oh, Daryl, do something!
I'm trying!
Analyzing driver condition, I've determined you
I
are
know
not-
what you're determined, but you're wrong!
I am never wrong.
Whose bright idea was this?
Your government's.
Granny, I have a feeling we're not in America anymore.
Everybody was arguing about whatever name dropped on this timeline this week. The government quietly secured the ability to turn off your car while you're driving it. And I'm not talking about a conspiracy theory. No, I'm talking about Section 24220 of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Yeah, it mandates that by 2027, every new passenger vehicle must advance impaired driving technology. Shit, it sounds great on paper. Stop drunk drivers. I'm all about that life. But the fine print tells me otherwise. It requires passive, continuous surveillance of the driver. So monitoring your eyes, your head, your movements, and your behavior. And it gives the car the authority to shut down the engine if the AI detects or decides you're not fit to drive. Even the National Highway Traffic Administration admitted to Congress that the tech is not ready. They said that 99.9% accuracy, it would still generate millions of false positives a year, meaning millions of people stranded on the side of the road because an algorithm made a mistake. But it gets worse. Where do you think that surveillance goes to? Well, if you think it goes to a privacy expert confirmed in a cloud type situation, you'd be correct. Experts have already made the fucking connection, realizing that automakers are already updating their terms of service to sell your behavioral data to insurance companies to generate you a fucking risk score. Some lawmakers try to stop it, actually. Representatives Thomas Massey introduced an amendment to defund the mandate. Reps John James co-sponsored a bill to kill it also. But in January of 2026, 57 Republicans joined 211 Democrats to vote it down. They voted to keep the kill switch mandate alive. The vote failed, 164 to 268. This is how the game is played. They flood the zone with noise while quietly building the architecture of control right in your fucking driveway. Stop looking at the smoke and start looking at the actual policy.
Right. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors that comes with what they do. And that's why they want to keep people in a perpetual state of fear and anger and all these low vibrational things. You know, they want us, my people, to be back out here marching and stuff in the streets, in which they started in Memphis, because, you know, they're pulling back, you know, different laws and stuff like that for voting and shit like that. Right. So they know that the people gonna come out for that. Like, all right. But also they got this dude, what is his name? Have y'all seen it lately? And I don't want to give him too much, like the Chud the Builder dude is actually going out here calling people the N-word. They want to incite a civil war, a race war, something like that. They want to pin people against each other because of the aliens and all these other dumbass videos that they drop that are not clearly not disclosure for real on any type of extraterrestrial life. It's some made up shit. Just like when, you know, they couldn't get your attention and they started shooting at the moon again, which they said that we didn't have the technology for. It's all somewhat of a distraction, but we covered that here on the channel to, you know, shed a little light on these incidents that's happening. It's interesting at the same time, but we're not stupid over here. Smash that like button, subscribe, man. Let's keep going, but don't get your emotions and everything caught up into the jargon of them getting you emotionally unregulated so that they can cipher your energy to shit that don't really matter. Let's keep going.
Now in this video, Trump talks about the advancement from 5G to 6G. Listen closely to what he says.
So we're into 6G now. I just finished 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done. And now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin?
To see deeply into somebody's skin. Trump is not lying. But let's break this down, because here's where it gets interesting. Now, all these chemtrails that we see in the skies, you know, the chemtrails that they outright just show us, that they make, these chemtrails are filled with conductive metals like barium, aluminum, strontium, and graphene. When you breathe these into your body, these metals are now in your bloodstream. They are in you. Because this air is conductive, they have the ability to heat up the atmosphere. They have the ability to create extreme weather, because it's all directed energy. And because this air is conductive and it is tuned to your DNA, they can manipulate you. I don't think that's what people understand. This is a spiritual warfare. They're attacking your soul. Now I need you to realize that you are in their energy grid system. The chemtrails are a part of their energy grid system. Their conductive metals that are in the air responds to the towers. And that same ionized air is in you, which means they now have power to your nervous system. They have the power to alter with your genetic life code, your DNA. These AI towers will literally be able to see you as a bioelectric silhouette because you are in their energy grid system. Does that make sense? These AI towers will have the ability to pinpoint your ass. Now enough of the fear. How do you prevent this? Detox. And I mean detox from everything they have. Fruits, veggies, eat clean. Everything you consume, make it clean. You don't want to be their electric target. You want to be a clean temple. Fast. Exercise. Sweat. Get in the sun. The sun will literally heat up and kill all the parasites in your body. The sun will eat anything synthetic in your body. Ground yourself. Reduce the EMF charges. But real quick, back to what Trump said. Does it give you a deeper view into somebody's skin? Yes, he's not lying. In early 2026, MWC in Barcelona, this is an event center for like AI, satellites, and bullshit. They majorly announced the rollout of 6G. It's coming. Now you see it. 6G's on rollout. Don't stress it. Just clear the temple within. That's it. Peace and love always.
Just have to come on here and say this real quick about the data centers. If you think that the government and big tech are building these billion-dollar facilities in the middle of nowhere to store your family photos or help you in any capacity, you're retarded. Okay? You're retarded. They're calling them data centers because calling them mass surveillance centers would probably send people into a spiral. They're literally building the infrastructure for a surveillance state, and they're doing it right in front of your face. It's going to be fully capable of monitoring your speech, your behavior, your purchases. It's going to essentially harvest your biometrics and create an entire digital profile for you. People are trying to say that something like this would never happen. There's a 92% chance on Polymarket that something like this is prohibited. Utah just got approved for a massive data center blueprint. This data center in Utah is going to be 63 square miles. Do you guys know how massive that is? I'm talking almost 3 times the size of Manhattan and 200 times the size of the NSA's data center that already exists in Utah. Why does Utah need a 63 square mile data center? And by the way, it's going to be using up double the electricity that Utah uses currently. And honestly, why does the country need anything like that for that matter? So I'm asking you to just ask yourself if this is really for the betterment of society and storing family photos and for you, or is it for mass surveillance?
When the Great Salt Lake dies, it impacts everybody around the world. So first it impacts Utah, then the 50 million people around us because the Colorado system, and then it ripples outwards throughout everywhere, globally. This is going to impact every single country all the way to the other side of Africa. Singapore, everybody, China, for building these hyperscaler data centers in Utah, and for putting 13 nuclear reactors on a fault line epicenter that has never had less than a 6.75 plus earthquake, and they're only rated, these Holtec Internationals are only rated for a 6.38. And the computer systems that run them, they never had their update from Chernobyl in the first place that updates these computations. In Utah, they are installing nuclear reactors only rated for a 6.38 on top of a 6.75 plus earthquake epicenter. In addition to the nuclear reactors not meeting the minimum product requirements, the computers running the reactors are still on standards from the 1950s, meaning they do not have the speed or technology to respond to such an event, creating repeat parameters for events like Chernobyl here in Utah. The Governor Cox and Utah Department of Energy built here Operation Gigawatt is tied into the data center hyperscaler. The amount of heat produced from both of these projects will evaporate our Great Salt Lake and cause neurologically painful dust to billow out into our lungs, causing neurological pain and death.
Temporary. Patriot Act, 2001. Sunset Clause. 4 years later, 14 of 16 provisions permanent. Temporary meant forever. 3 methods for decoding power. 1. What they say versus what they do. C40 called its climate framework voluntary. Denmark guided all 98 municipalities to adopt it. Voluntary? Mandatory. Watch the bulldozers, not the press release. 2. Translate the jargon. CIA program Stargate, 23 years, $20 million. Documents say remote viewing and anomalous cognition. Translation, telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, polite words, psychic warfare. 3. Bait and switch. December 2023. Instagram launches encrypted messages. The future is private. May 8th, 2026. Encryption killed. DMs open to Meta. Bait, privacy. Switch, surveillance. 3 tools. Watch actions. Translate words. Wait for the switch. Case files at sigillumalexio.com.
Okay, so this might be a reach, but what if everything that's going on, from the Epstein files to these cruise lines to the hantavirus to everything else, what if it's just a distraction from the data centers? Do y'all realize how many data centers are currently being built? Do you know that 3 prompts from ChatGPT is equivalent to a bottle of water? Quite literally, like if you say hey to ChatGPT and request a response, that's one of 3 prompts that is equivalent to a bottle of water. Do y'all understand the severity of what's going on? Because it's interesting that we live in a world that they say is 70+% water, yet we're consistently running out of water, right? And now the majority of the water that we have available to us is going to be used by data centers. What if everything that's happening is quite literally an evolution of the Matrix? Just like the movie, like needing data centers and needing something, some type of energy, needing water to go ahead and fuel these data centers. I know it's a reach, but I was just looking at the whole hantavirus situation, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, how is it that you have hundreds of people on this ship and you've only had one person come out, make a video, but he looks like he's reading a script? Where are the live videos? Where are the other people? Where are the family members? And where is the quarantine? Like, there's so many discrepancies when it comes to this situation. And the fact that no one's being held accountable, even the UFO disclosure. What if it's all a distraction from what's really happening right in front of our very eyes? I don't know. Personal opinion. This is all alleged. Can't confirm or deny. But if you like more interesting topics like this, grab your copy of 50 Further Mysteries. Link is in the bio. Feel free to join the private group chat. Like, follow, stay for some more tea.
Think about this, though. The water disappearing, right? How would that not affect the people at the top? Well, you got to think about it. Remember they were talking about robots and stuff taking over the workforce, and it's actually happening. You know, I got to see a different viewpoint on that when I was living in Arizona for a while, and I got to see them train. Before the Waymo was a popular thing everywhere. I seen them training the Waymo. I seen the people with their little computers and stuff programming them out there. I've seen the Waymos crash so many times and do the weirdest things. I was there at ground one. And now they're training these little things with eyeballs on them to carry the food. So that's gonna be the Uber Eats. One of my boxing managers, before I got the military, you know, he used to chauffeur and drive vehicles. He had a whole fleet. He had like 50 of top quality vehicles that he had, you know, professional chauffeuring company that got taken over by Uber. Then you see where this is going? It's going to all the technologies. You see the grocery stores. You see they're replacing the shit is being automated. Then you're seeing also, you know, the restaurants. They do have restaurants that are automated. So what would they need people for to drink water? Not that many, right? Remember they're talking about you know, the agenda that they have to mass depopulation. Remember the Georgia Guidestones and what they said? Oh man, I want y'all to go up there. If you don't know about the Georgia Guidestones, we did many videos on that, but I implore you to go check it out. But look, let's get back into this video. Very interesting.
Scientists have uploaded the brain of a fruit fly into a computer, and now it...
Remember this clip? I think we heading there.
Lives freely in its own simulation. Look at this little guy. He's just there washing his hands, living his best life. Look at this, look at this. He's about to eat digital food. Oh, look, it's so tasty, right? Bro, this is wild. The way they demoed this was using 139,000 neurons and 50 million synapses from a real fruit fly brain. Built a neural model, plugged the sensory inputs, gave it a physics simulated body and environment, and just like that, the brain performs its natural behaviors of a fruit fly. But it's in a digital world and has no idea that it's in a digital world, because how would it? It's literally the Matrix. So the crazy thing to think about, if you really want to think about it, is what if that's us right now? Or what if it's something that could happen to us?
Well, looky here. I'm pretty sure everybody saw this video.
Just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us.
Do you know what else the same guy did a few years ago? I didn't find it. I found it for you, but somebody else actually went down the rabbit hole and found this clip.
Just gorgeous girls get vaccinated. Gorgeous vaccinated girls get boosted. And gorgeous boosted girls get boosted again.
Coincidence that the same guy that was promoting the COVID vaccines and the boosters and everything is the same guy on the cruise ship crying about a hantavirus? Coincidence? What do you think? I think it's
Bro, they gotta stop playing with us, bro. Like, we look. Come on.
There was so much more going on with that wave of exhaustion we experienced yesterday than I realized. Like, that was a full-on timeline jump that we experienced. This lines up with the exact time that so many of us experienced that wave of exhaustion that hit. Massive collective timeline jumps like this can feel very intense on the body, because every version of you, every phase of you has to shift into that new timeline and anchor there. And your physical body needs to keep up with that. And those of us holding light, holding the resonance, do act as those anchors for that timeline for the collective. And did anyone else wake up at 4 a.m. almost on the dot? That's about when this new blast of light started coming through. Extremely high energy, it would have been very hard to go back to sleep. So things you're going to notice today, things are going to feel like you're in between worlds, almost like you're floating in between dimensions. Things might feel off, you might feel ungrounded. Your nervous system may need support. You also may notice very tangible changes in your reality and in your life from this shift. Whether it's the way people are acting, things around you, the settings, or very simple things like something's in a different place or a different color. Trust yourself. You'll be feeling the Mandela effect hardcore. And remember that we are the anchors for that resonance of love, of compassion, of truth, illumination. You only need to hold that energy. You only need to be the lighthouse. If you can find some time today, get outside in the sun, get your bare feet on the ground. Better yet, get your hands in the earth. Connect with nature, ground, be in the moment. This will help when it feels like you're flying all over the place. We are living through an incredible time, and we are going to witness the most incredible shifts in consciousness. We have so much to look forward to, guys.
Supposed to be out here catching trout, and look at this. Are you gonna eat this? Oh, it's a dead turtle right there. Another dead turtle over there. Another dead turtle. Another one. What the fuck? Dead turtle. Dead turtle. Dead turtle. Nah, this is crazy. Another one right there.
Y'all gotta see too, stuff like that is happening around these data centers and what's going on with the water and everything else like that. Like, I hate to see it. You gotta think turtles have, I think they do. They have better immune systems than we do. And whatever that they're pumping into the waters, I assume is taking them out. That's because the collective consciousness is rising. And like we spoke about before, they have to crash out. They have no other choice but to try to ruin everything before we reach level of consciousness, before everything just switches.
I like this, yeah. You ever see somebody summon turtles before?
No.
No? How much you bet I could summon a turtle right now? Could summon the turtles. Yes. Come on, I am the turtle whisperer. Yes. Come on, he speaks to me. Yes. Come listen. There's one already right here. Gerald Nim. Gerald Nim. Gerald Nim. The water is moving, and as the water flows and it speaks to turtles, they come. Yes. Yes, they do. Yes. Yes! They're actually coming. Oh my gosh. Yes. Come speak to me, my turtles. Yes, yes. Yes, speak to me. Yes, turtles. Yes, the turtles. The turtles. The turt.
She was turned.
I told my daughter this months ago, maybe even years ago, I can't remember, but I told her, and I was like, when it get cold in May, the time is up. And yesterday I told her, I was like, what is it 50 something degrees outside? What's today? Is it May? You have to pay attention. I have my children heads on a swivel. They're paying attention to everything. I'm putting them on game. I even told them about the love bug. Yes, the love bug. When you pay attention, you know what's going on. You do. All you have to do is pay attention. In Texas, baby, and anybody from Texas, born and raised, please send this out to anybody in Texas, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, I don't know, anywhere in Texas. It has never been cold in May, and I've been talking about this because I know what they're doing. And I told people, I was like, if they make it cold in May, their time is up. And it's May 2nd today, and it's still cold. Still cold. It's probably gonna warm up later on today, but still, like, this is not normal. And the crazy thing is, people gonna get on here and talk about it's normal. It's not normal. They're trying to cover up the sun as much as possible. That's what they're trying to do. And it's not working. So you're having cold time. Y'all seen that movie, Geostorm? You seen that movie? Westworld, all of this stuff is being controlled. I said this a long time ago in my videos. They're gonna be pressing buttons, and they're pressing buttons. The sun is giving off
they crashing out.
Extreme power force that a lot of people cannot handle. I see it in regular people. People that look like me can't handle. You have to be on a certain level, and that's through this, not through the physical, through this. Because of the waves and the energy that sun is giving off, a lot of people cannot handle it. Mentally and physically, but mainly mentally. And it's sad to see. I see a lot of my loved ones suffering because they don't know how to handle it. And the crazy thing is, it's just gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger. But like I said, I told my daughter, and I told a lot of people, I was like, if they make it cold in May, their time is up. They're panicking, so they're pressing buttons. And if you think this is normal, I can't help you. This video is not for you. You 5D conversation, 3D conversation. My stuff is a 5D conversation, and I'm still going up because it's still more dimensions. So if you stuck in that 3D, you believe in the precipitation, you believe in what they telling you on the northeast, west, south, you believe in what you was taught in school, indoctrination, all that type of stuff. I can't help you. You have to be at least 5D to understand what I'm saying. They have been pressing buttons, and they're going to continue to press buttons until they can't press them anymore. This cold weather in Texas and anywhere else that's not supposed to be getting cold weather right now. I'm 30 plus years old, almost 40. Never seen a cold day in my life in May. It's always hot. It's always warm. I ain't never have to put on a jacket and a long sleeve in May. What are we doing? What are we doing? But yes, just pay attention to what's going on. That's all you have to do. Just pay attention to what's going on. Love y'all.
I remember back, y'all remember the weather changes? Have y'all been feeling them? I remember when I was a kid. We're originally from South Carolina, but you know, during when we got attacked by a group of fucking wild people, we had to migrate to New York, right? So our people migrated to New York. We fought the British and stuff like that on the coast, right? That's where I come from. But so I grew up in the cold, super cold, by Canada, right Niagara Falls, Buffalo, that area. My dad joined the military. We eventually I was around like 6, 7, 8. We moved to Fayetteville. Our first time going there in North Carolina, it was like winter time when we left New York. But when we got to North Carolina back then, man, it felt like it was like 80 degrees outside. And this is not just because we used to cold. It was everybody was out there in flip-flops and riding their bikes during Christmas. And I remember the weather being like that, but now everything is just completely different. Let me know where you live at and what the weather is like now. We still get cold days here in Charlotte, North Carolina, when they got that thick layer of fog. They're not clouds. When they hit us with them chemtrails, it get real cold for days. When it goes away, it's warm again. And they do it over and over to try to keep this thing cool for them. Shit ain't cool for us.
Shifters walking amongst us on the north side, on Great Mama. Viewers' discretion is advised.
That is the universe. I knew when it told me.
Yeah, we seen that. That nigga just morphed in 4K. We caught that on camera. Yeah, that nigga a shapeshifter. He also look like some shit that look like underneath the bed. Spooky. On Funnel Gray, that shit crazy.
Well, I tell you, boy, his face looked like, you ever felt some gum on the bottom of the desk at school? It felt like that was like his face looked. I gotta go back and see that again. That is unbelievable. That was unbelievable that the skin on his face is that loose that it did that. But I don't think that's just the skin. He looked like he morphed. Let me know in the comments down below, like, do you feel the same way? Are we tripping? I ain't tripping, bro. And he was doing a chant.
I know when it told me.
They call the Mandela effect because they want you to pick up that they're playing with it. We said the Simpsons show, they want to show there's a weakness and the jinn created you. They're going to come with the ship, say, we created you. Say, he created nothing. But if they keep you in ignorance, you'll be astonished that I was created by the Simpsons. They're not teaching people, and when you don't teach people, what happens when you don't teach people? They're ignorant. When they don't teach people about jinn, when they don't teach about their powers, then these people start to say, you know, they're predicting things. How are they able to show us things that are going to happen? Well, because the jinn, they can go back in time. When they go back in time, they can alter something and make something to be different here.
Somebody recorded this guy talking to his reflection, and something weird happens. He leans towards his reflection, but his reflection doesn't lean back. Watch. One more time.
People in the world but cannot afford our medicines. And now I think with this announcement, we are making this dream reality.
Many of your medicines, we know from the COVID vaccine, very effective, very welcome. The logistics around that.
He warned us. Check this out.
If I ever shave my face again, you'll know. It's not our world.
None of this is real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Yeah, then I watched everybody like talking 1,000 miles an hour up there, receiving their awards, and I was like, I'm dead.
People are already over the shit that happened with Jim Carrey, and it's sad, bro, because he was telling us that something's going on if I look different, if I act different, and he never gave a fuck about the award shows, and yet people are just over it, acting like nothing happened. Y'all need to wake the fuck up, bro. Look at his eyes. They're green, bro.
Who's this?
Who is this guy right here, and what is going on with his eye?
People want to know. This is what people are saying. I think it was a problem with the lighting or something, but look at his eye. Why does it turn black and then it goes back to normal?
Something to think about.
Shh, shut up!
I don't know who this guy is, but all I can remember is that back then, he was in a accident, remember?
Shh, shut up!
But I'm sitting here trying to wonder, why did his eye get like that?
People are saying this. Somebody sent me this and I said, bro, stop playing around. This is not real. Something wrong with the lighting. Maybe this is AI.
Come on now. Look at his eye. That's all I gotta say. There's nothing else for me to say, but look at his eye, bro. It's black. Then it turned back to white. Then it turned normal. Something's going on with Kevin Hart, bro.
Nah, I'm just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. Nothing's going on with Kevin Hart. He's good to go. Maybe there was a problem with the lighting, special effects. Maybe somebody used this AI or something. Something's going on here, but Kevin Hart is good.
I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this one, because something's up. I'm out.
Done. I win. Cheryl, it's not a race.
Okay, we've seen this before, but I've never seen it stem from this TV show. I did not know she got canceled because of this. Wow. Makes more sense now.
You can ask the flowers. I sit for hours, telling all the bluebirds, the bill and coo birds, pretty little baby.
When I first saw this painting, I couldn't look away from those eyes. In 1890, the master, Franz von Stuck, created Lucifer, a depiction of the devil that feels dangerously human. Instead of a monster, we see a brooding, muscular figure sitting in a void. He rests his head like a dark version of the thinker, but his piercing, glowing gaze is fixed directly on you. It's a chilling reminder that the most dangerous evil doesn't hide in the shadows. It stares you right in the face.
You guys seen the movie The Congress?
No.
So The Truman Show and The Congress are two of my top favorite movies. I'm not a pop culture movie person, but you got to see The Congress. It took like 10 to 15 years to make because half of it is like all animation. And it's like the trippiest animation. You might want to take some psychedelics and like watch that movie. It's about a washed up celebrity. This came out in what? The Congress 2010 maybe? Maybe earlier than that? She sells her likeness for what? $20 million or whatever it is. And then they create AI versions of her. And then it gets to a point where people can actually like drink a serum and like become that celebrity in this digital like AI type world. Like it's wild, guys.
I gotta
Watch
check this
The
out.
Congress. It is one of the best.
Wow. That's exactly what's happening.
Dude.
And that is so spot on, because even in Congress right now, how they're getting exposed, they had their own files, the Congress files, to where they were essentially voting on their sexual misconduct and they blocked it. Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
So there's so much disclosure happening right now to where they're just getting found out. I gotta check that movie out though.
Yeah, do it.
That's crazy.
Spot on.
Yeah, seriously.
Jeez. And it's always in the movies. That's why we're coming out with a show.
Movies, yeah.
It's always in the movies because they encode things in the movies
They do.
to where you have karmic retribution. Hey, we're showing you just how they had that other movie, Wag the Dog.
Yep.
And we were talking about that to where essentially they had a scandal in the movie. The president has a scandal. He's messing with an underage girl. Then they create a fake war.
Epstein. Anybody?
Yeah.
Epstein?
Ukraine,
Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
And it's now in Albania. And they're like, hey, let's create this fake war. We got a green screen, this, that. And that happened right before Clinton's scandal, like weeks before.
Did you see all the Super Bowl commercials
Yeah.
this year?
Yeah.
Like Nerds clusters and the gummies.
I missed a lot of them.
And the likeness of the Epstein Island and like.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So the other night I was like, I woke up in the middle of the night, couldn't get back to sleep. And these words came to my mind, and it's consent through compliance. That's what it is. So there's the law of free will, right? Like in the universe. And the way that the elites get around this law of free will is through showing us in plain sight. That's why they have to make these commercials. That's why they have to make these movies. That's why they have to disclose that they're a part of this top secret Illuminati thing through symbolism and things like that, because we are consenting to it by not standing up and saying no, right? Our compliance in it is just like, well, yeah, it is what it is. It's just like, this is the world we're living in. We're agreeing to live in the world by being okay with it.
Yeah, they're eating babies. I always say that.
We're consenting
They're
to
eating
it.
babies. They're eating babies.
These big wars is a joke. It's a setup. It's a game that's played to play off the opposites against each other in the hopes of synthesizing a new world order where we all kind of synthesize. That's why Democrat and Republican is a joke, because what they ultimately want is a racist society. They're very racist, and they're interested in a new world order which is run by a Luciferian philosophy. Now, this is very disturbing sounding stuff, but they've been persecuted for thousands and thousands of years by various people. Nobody persecuted them as badly as the Roman government through the Catholic Christian Church. They were tortured, they were killed, so they came to the natural conclusion, you can understand anybody would have done this under the circumstances. What do you think they would choose? They would say, okay, whatever God these guys think is God, that's not the right one, because he's stringing us out on the rack, he's torturing us, he's killing us. Therefore, whoever the Christian church says is the bad guy is the good guy. Okay, wait a minute. Lucifer is the brightest light, the brightest angel in heaven, right? And he's the one that got tossed out of heaven. Well, maybe he got tossed out of heaven because he was too cool, right? Because everybody else in there was a bunch of corrupt shysters. Well, this is actually what the most powerful people in the world think. And they are a fundamentalist religion just like any of the others. They still believe this weird stuff. They follow these teachings. They actually buy into the whole... These people honestly believe that they are the descendants of gods, that they are the chosen, that they are God's special people, that we are delusional, and that the true creator is this wisdom principle that they think of as Lucifer, that wisdom principle gave us ancient mystery school teachings, and that the enemy, which they call Adonai, the adversary, which we would call the Christian God, came to try to defeat them. Then they even take it a step further and they look at texts like the Bible and they say that where it says in the end times that God will take the money from the wicked and restore it to the just, that we as a planet are the wicked and they are the just. So this is how they justify their financial corruption. They don't believe that we deserve the money. In fact, they believe that if they did not dominate us and if they did not control us and play all these games, that we left to our own devices would destroy our planet. So in some twisted rationale, they believe they are saving the earth. They believe humans are bad for the environment, we cause pollution, so they have to reduce population. Then they seed that into movies like The Matrix, where Agent Smith says that that humans are like a virus on the planet. This is one of a variety of ways in which they will usually embed their teachings into the villain.
Way beyond the classroom civilization. You want to hear the history, you gotta have patience. They want to erase it and try to replace it. People on different planets put your features on their faces. Ay. Take it back to the dawn of man. We was doing more to write, no caves and harvest. Stand, look at the prefix. We was here before amoebas. Everything you see is just a remix. I'ma write my thesis. Original Wi-Fi, communicate with animals. Fully activated, Pino in the third eye. 100% brain power, lived for thousands of years. It was pure air up in the sky. We've been here millions of years. We've been here millions of years. We've been here trillions. We've been here millions of years. 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 We've been here millions of years.
What an amazing video, man. Oh man, just let me know how y'all feel about this video right here, man. I know it's packed ton full of information. If you missed something, just go ahead, go back, rewatch it, leave a comment and tag the part of the video that you are in reference to. I like when y'all do that, when y'all put the timestamp and then y'all say what y'all gotta say at that point. I like that, so I can actually put it together. Sometimes if you put it in the video, if you leave a comment out of context, I can't really refer back to what you were talking about, because sometimes, you know, you might not detail it as much as possible for me to understand where you're coming from. But look, man, very detailed, interesting video. Just know, like, look, what direction is this video pointing into, and what can you see to be true for you in our reality that we currently live in? Are we, you know, being replaced by robots, and our water being taken? And why wouldn't the government or anybody be worried about the amount of water that's being used? Is because I'm just asking a question. Is there a plan for not that many people to be around to even be worried about how much water we have? I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments down below, man. But look, stay positive out here. Protect your friends, protect your family. You know, treat each other nicely, and let's keep building together. Share these videos with your friends and family. Smash that like button, hype it up. But look, like I always say, spread love, because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. And I'm out though. Bye.